spaceship is under attack by another one, and it manages to escape through a warping portal. It arrives in Earth's orbit, where it crashes into a satellite before entering Earth's atmosphere and hits a mountain peak. The Predator inside skewers a small device and uses a pod to escape the ship. Quinn, a US Army sniper, was on a mission in Mexico when he notices the escape pod falling down toward him. He shoots his target first and quickly jumps out of the way as the ship crashes down. Quinn then looks around and checks the pod, where he finds the Predator blood. He then discovers the mask that he puts in his backpack. He then finds the wrist gauntlet that he puts on his hand. The wrist gauntlet tightens up just as he and his comrade hear the clicking sound of the Predator. Their other teammate's body suddenly drops hanging from a tree, and Quinn spots the hidden Predator and starts shooting. The Predator retaliates with its plasma cannon and sends them flying. It then approaches Quinn. The wrist gauntlet activates and launches a shuriken at the Predator, hurting it badly and cutting in half the hanging corpse. The Predator lies down on the ground as the blood drips on its face, revealing its details to Quinn, who is shocked. The creature wakes up and Quinn grabs the backpack and escapes. A helicopter flies above the forest, and the wrist gauntlet gives Quinn a metallic ball just as the CIA agent Will Traeger arrives at the crash location. Quinn heads to a bar and he asks the bartender to send his backpack to a PO box address. The man first refuses, but Quinn turns invisible and freaks him out, and the man accepts. Quinn hears the police arriving and swallows the invisibility ball. Rory, Quinn's son, was at school. The boy, who is autistic, is bullied by some kids who go on ransacking some chess boards in the room, but Rory turns out to be a genius, capable of remembering the exact positions of the chess pieces. Later at home, the mailman arrives with some packet from Quinn's PO box, saying that the man was late on his payments, so they brought his stuff to his house. In a university, Dr. Casey Brackett is recruited by the CIA. On the road, she is shown classified documents and photos of the alien pod. The agent references the events of the two first Predator movies and says that the creatures are visiting more frequently. At night, Rory opens up the packages and finds the Predator masks and wrist gauntlet. A small device is released and casts a holographic image. Quinn, who is taken to the hospital for veterans, is assessed by a specialist and interrogated about the events and put on a bus to a psychiatrist center with a group who calls themselves the Loonies. The group is composed from Nebraska, Coyle, Baxley, Lynch, and Nettles. Dr. Casey arrives at the secret base of Project Stargazer. She is then taken to a facility where she meets Dr. Shankeys and is shown some alien artifacts, then the alien that they had captured and sedated. Agent Traeger tells her that they called it Predator, and apparently the creature has the same DNA makeup as a human. Casey learns about Quinn being the first one to contact the creature and wants to meet him. The bus receives a call to change course and head to the Stargazer base. Nebraska pressures Quinn, who tells them that he met an alien, and everyone explodes in laughter. Meanwhile, in space, another spaceship arrives on Earth orbit through a portal. The Predator inside engages the invisibility shield when entering the planet, but it gets hacked by Rory, who is playing around with the mysterious device, and brings down the invisibility shields, causing the ship to be detected by the military's radars. Two jets intercept it as it heads toward the secret base. While Casey wonders about some tube contents, the Predator suddenly wakes up and breaks free, then goes on killing everyone. Traeger escapes and locks the woman inside with the creature. She grabs a gun and one of the tubes and escapes to the decontamination chamber, where she is found by the Predator, who ignores her. It kills everyone on its way and heads to get some Predator weapons. The mask in Rory's room activates on its own, and the Predator watches the boy and finds out his name in his school. The bus arrives at the base and is stopped by the guards, who say that there was a situation. Everyone then sees the Predator running on top of the roofs, and they come up with a distraction to beat the guard and take over the bus. Casey follows the Predator with a tranquilizing gun. The Predator sees the spaceship flying over its head and starts running away. Casey follows it around and ends up landing on the bus. Quinn keeps shooting at the creature, who turns around and blows the bus tire, causing the woman to shoot her foot. She slowly loses consciousness and is helped by Quinn. Meanwhile, the Predator gets on a military bus and hijacks it without without the driver knowing. Somewhere else, the other predator had landed and sends his alien dogs. Casey wakes up later in a motel room surrounded by the group of loonies. The woman freaks out and wants to leave, but decides to stay when Quinn tells her that the army will kill her after she stole from them. Casey says that the predator is looking for something, and Quinn explains that he took his stuff and says that he knows its destination. Rory sees the mask activating and puts it on his face. The boy sees the predator planet where the creature is being injected with some kind of substance that affects the structure of its body. Later, Quinn arrives at home looking for the boxes he had sent to his PO box and freaks out when he finds them empty. The man tells his ex-wife Emily about what's going on as she meets with his crazy new team, and they all prepare to head to get Rory. Meanwhile, the boy who had worn the mask and wrist gauntlet for the Halloween night meets with his bullies. The boy goes knocking on the house door and the owner throws an apple at his head. The mask activates and the plasma cannon kills the man and blows the house up. The bullies are scared of the boy, who drops the mask and leaves. Quinn, who saw the explosion, heads to the location immediately while Rory runs to a baseball field where he is approached by the alien dogs. Quinn and his team get there and start fighting the creature. They manage to explode one, and Nebraska puts a bullet in the head of the other, who kept walking around dazed. The team was celebrating when suddenly the predator appears and takes Nettles hostage. It orders the other to lay down their guns. Baxley's turret kicks in and distracts the predator. Then Quinn grabs his gun and shoots the predator, and it drops the man. Quinn escapes with his son and Casey to the school building as the predator follows them. The man knows that the predator won't stop unless he gets what he wants, and Rory hands his dad the mysterious device. They soon see the shadow approaching behind the windows. As they back up, the predator appears behind their back and grabs Quinn and pins him against the wall. The man gives it the mysterious device. Suddenly, the other predator arm punches through the window and pulls the first one, throwing it outside. The big predator lands nearby and its skin hardens and asks the small guy where the device was. The smaller predator starts attacking, but its attacks are all easily avoided. His metal claws gets destroyed and it gets thrown around in front of Quinn and the others, who watch in disbelief. The team gets in the RV, while the big guy smashes the other one on a car and proceeds to remove the mask and destroy its face with a punch before tearing out its head and spine. The predator sends a report that it had killed the traitor and had eyes now on the device. Quinn tries to talk to his ex, but she lets him know that the CIA were there. Traeger checks on the dead predator, and they learn by interrogating Emily about the mysterious device, saying it must be what the big predator wants. Quinn and the team escapes to a ranch, and Casey discovers that the mysterious fluid was a mixture taken from the spines of all the strong creatures that the predator hunted throughout the galaxy that they used to upgrade themselves and evolve. Nettles suddenly comes calling for Casey, and turns out they were followed by the alien dog, who became very docile. They soon see the helicopter approaching, and Casey makes the alien dog go away by throwing a grenade like a ball. Traeger lands with his men and asks Quinn about the device. The man feigns ignorance and is taken into a room to be interrogated. Casey talks to Traeger and learns that the predators wants to use the human DNA to be able to live on Earth and take over when it's warm enough. The small predator must have brought something to help humanity win against them. Back in the house, Emily and the agents are under attack by the predator, who kills the two men and discovers a map drawn by Rory showing the location of the spaceship. One of Traeger's men sees Rory drawing another map, and the boy is taken to the helicopter to lead them to the location of the ship. Quinn manages to overcome the two agents, and Casey was about to be killed when the alien dog shows up with the grenade in its mouth. The guard is distracted and Casey knocks him down and stuck the grenade in his back after removing the pin. The explosion distracts the man guarding Nebraska, and he is able to beat him. The man then joins the others, and Quinn has a sudden stomach ache and rushes to the toilet. He soon comes back with the invisibility ball in his hand. Coyle shows up with the helicopter, and they all hop on board and they start following the alien dog. At that time, Traeger's men had reached the ship and secured the area. Quinn arrives and sees his son opening the ship door for Traeger and his men. He then turns invisible and sneaks in and takes them them out, then takes Traeger as hostage. Outside, the rest of the team make their way inside the area and they start taking out the guards. Traeger orders his men to shoot Rory if Quinn doesn't put down his gun and starts a countdown. Lynch, who is sniping from a distance, is attacked by the Predator and shoots a flare gun to warn the others. Traeger manages to free himself from Quinn and chaos breaks out. Quinn hands his son the invisibility ball and the Predator shows up and begins the killing before heading to the ship. The Predator uses a translator made by Stargazer and tells everyone that he is here to destroy the ship. He singles out McKenna as their leader and his prize and tells them to escape, giving them a head start before the hunting begins. A countdown begins, so Quinn and Traeger make a truce. Traeger takes the Predator mask with him and the alien dogs shows up. Casey again plays fetch using a Predator device she throws to Coil, who locks the creature inside a van. Everyone escapes to the forest and the Predator blows up the ship. Traeger asks Rory how to use the mask and Rory explains that it auto-fires as a defense mechanism. One of the soldiers hears a noise and throws a Predator shuriken. The device comes back and cuts off his hand. He starts screaming and Traeger kills him. The Predator then shows up, decapitating a soldier with its mandibles. The fight against the creature begins and the Predator shoots Casey, who blocks with the mask that flies off from her hand and lands on the ground and shoots back at it. The team then sets the creature on fire and Bexley jumps on it and starts slashing it. The plasma cannon on Traeger's shoulder auto-activates and Casey makes the man blow his head off. The Predator throws Bexley against a tree and he gets impaled by a branch. Coil, too, is mortally wounded. The two old friends then finishes each other off. The Predator soon is back after the others, so Quinn offers himself to the creature in exchange for the others to be spared. But the Predator throws him away and turns out that it was after his son the whole time for his unusual genius. Rory is taken to the spaceship and locked inside a pod. The ship takes off and Quinn, Nebraska and Nettles jumps on it. Casey shoots one of the engines as the ship flies away with the three men on top of it. Rory warns his dad about the force field as it's being deployed. Quinn and Nebraska avoids it, but Nettles gets his leg cut off and falls from the ship. Nebraska lies on the top of the shield that was slowly killing him. The man sacrifices himself to destroy the other engine. Quinn slides along the shield and opens the door. He shoots the Predator, who catches him but has to let him go to prevent the ship from crashing. Quinn falls out and hangs from a tree while the ship lands. The Predator goes after him and Rory escapes and watches his dad fighting the creature. Casey uses the invisibility to do a sneak attack. The Predator is dazed and Quinn pushes it over the ledge. The Predator then stands up, leaning against the ship, so Rory activates the shield and cuts off its arm. The alien dog appears with the Predator bomb and Casey throws it to Quinn. The dog attacks the Predator and Quinn loads the device on the Predator's wrist bracelet and shoots the creature in the leg. The device explodes, dismembering the Predator, and it falls down squirming in pain. Quinn asks it what it was, in reference to the first Predator movie, and shoots it in the face. He, Casey and Rory then paid their respect to their fallen comrades, with trinkets representing each one of them before leaving. Later, Quinn arrives in a science lab where his son was helping decipher the Predator language, and it turns out the mysterious cargo was not destroyed with the ship. The mysterious pod suddenly activates and hacks the computers. The device says its name was the Predator Killer. The pod opens up and a device floats in the air. It suddenly attaches itself to one of the scientists, covering him in a mecha Predator suit with some crazy weapons. The suit then deactivates and he's back to the normal form, and Quinn states that this suit was for him to wear. And with that, we reach the end of the movie. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and see you guys next time. Bye bye.